Hey guys, welcome into this segment from our full-length The Onside Kick podcast. In order to get the full podcast, go down to the description, go to Blog Talk Radio / The Onside Kick to download the full thing. Enjoy, everybody. But Mark, we're going to move into our next topic, and you mentioned Mike Williams in that first segment, and that's who we're going to talk about here in segment number 2, is we're going to look in at Mike Williams, and right now, Mel Kiper in his 1.0 has Williams going to the Tennessee Titans in their pick at number 5 that they got from the Los Angeles Rams. And we're not necessarily going to look at Mike Williams to the Titans and analyze that. We're going to look at this. He is obviously right now, the number 1 wide receiver on any positional rankings, mine, yours, ESPN, SB, Nation, CBS. Really, he's the guy. He's the first wide receiver most people have coming off the board. And the thing that I liked about Mike Williams is he really helped his team win that national championship game, to where I have said it before, I will say it again. It is not Deshaun Watson that won them that game. It's Mike Williams and also Leggett, the two receivers, Hunter Renfrow too, who won them that game. And the one thing I pointed out last night when Brandon, Sean, Dave, and myself were watching the football games and we mentioned it was, I find it funny that Clemson doesn't have Mike Williams, loses to Alabama. Deshaun Watson has his number 1 target. They beat Alabama. So, yeah. I mean, it might be coincidence. I don't think so. He's damn good.
It helps to have your number 1.
I'm going to throw this question at you. Mm-hmm. Will Mike Williams, because he's the number 1 off the board and we think he's going to be the next greatest receiver since sliced bread, basically, will he become the next NFL superstar? Because receivers become superstars. Will he become the next NFL superstar?
You know, I think he's got opportunity to do it. I don't think it's a sure thing for sure. He's got good height. You know, he definitely has the height that you want. He's got the good radius. He can make those highlight type of catches. The things that make me nervous about him is those times where it's not a sure thing, where it's not a super clean catch. Mm-hmm. I'm not exactly 100% confident he's going to come down with those ones. He also, kind of worries me that his separation isn't always going to be the best. Not bad, but he's not going to be that guy who's always going to have separation, always going to get himself open. And with this guy going to be drafted early, he's probably going to be taken to be a number 1 wide receiver. And in the NFL, I don't know that he's necessarily going to shake that man coverage. He'll do well in a zone. He'll get in the soft spot for sure. But when it actually comes to that man-to-man coverage, I don't know that he can shake his defender. And then couple that with if it's a contested throw, I don't know if he's going to really come down with it all the time. Just adds up to a little bit of inconsistency.
I'm going to throw this out to you. You want to know, right now I'm looking at an article. What's the date on this article on NFL.com? This one's actually from late November is when it was published.
A little while ago.
And it's called Dare to Compare, NFL Comp for Clemson wide receiver Mike Williams. And this article was written by, I'll give credit to Lance Zierlein of NFL.com. And the NFL comparison that he made, and I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm not even going to mention what he said. I'm just going to throw it out, see what you think. Plaxico Burress.
Interesting.
Big wide receiver, red zone target. Mm-hmm. Maybe Mike Williams doesn't have to get the separate, because it's one of those things of, are we expecting Mike Williams to be the next Julio Jones? Are we going to expect him to be the next Odell Beckham? Are we going to expect him to be something he's not, basically? And with this one, I just see NFL comp Plaxico Burress, and I go, okay, so you're saying he's going to be a good red zone target. That's basically what you're saying.
Which is something that certainly some of these teams lower in the draft could use, or in the getting closer to the 10 area could certainly use. And in that case, it's one of those things where, to answer the specific question, to be very literal about him being a superstar, I don't know if that makes him into a NFL superstar in that case, because we want the highlight reel catches. We want to go, walk through the TV section of Walmart or Best Buy and see, oh, there's Odell Beckham Jr. coming down with that amazing catch.
Or like, what is it, the Pepsi commercial when he goes, Oh, this is what Katie must have felt like when she won that purple bear.
Exactly. And that's, I think, what we think of with the superstar, with Julio, with Odell, when we used to have Calvin Johnson, Alshon Jeffrey, when these guys used to be able to do that. And I don't necessarily know if that's what you're going to get out of Mike Williams. And he doesn't have to be that. He doesn't have to be that. He can still be a very solid wide receiver, and I think he's going to be a very good wide receiver in the NFL for what he is best at. So superstar, maybe not. But is the team going to be happy to have him and be thrilled about that? I think they certainly will.
Well, and then that's the thing. Another thing about the NFL superstar part is we throw that out with the wide receiver position because what's the big stereotype of NFL wide receivers? Des Bryant's the biggest one, by the way. What I'm thinking of. The little D word? Divas. They're usually the divas. I mean, look at Chris Carter, I don't think I was maybe too young to notice, but I don't think he was a diva on the field. I mean, in his analyst career, he's come out and he's more vocal. Randy Moss was a diva. You've got Des Bryant, who's a diva. You've got
you could put Odell in there.
As a diva, like Terrell. Missing the biggest diva, Terrell Owens,
of course.
And it's one of those things where is Mike Williams, is that his personality, or is he going to be? Would you count? Maybe it's because we saw him yesterday play and he's in the Super Bowl. Would you count Julio Jones as a diva? Or is he just a player that gets at it and just does his work?
I don't think he's necessarily a diva, but at the same time, I don't think the Falcons get the coverage that it kind of helps to be
what about
a diva.
I know Julian Edelman's not the same type of player that Julio is, but would Julian Edelman be a diva, or does he just want to be a Tom Brady lookalike?
No, he wants to be Tom Brady lookalike. But it's also the Patriots. The Patriots are not allowed to be that.
Randy Moss wasn't allowed. He got traded.
And remember when Ocho Cinco went back to Chad Johnson to be on the Patriots, and that didn't last very long either. So you don't get to be a diva. You have to fit into the role. And a big part of that is Edelman, Chris Hogan, these are guys who were nothing until they fit into the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady system. If it wasn't for that, they would not really be much of anything.
Would you count Brandon Marshall as a diva?
Oh, fuck yeah. Without a doubt in my mind. Now, the exception to this, and he's not a wide receiver, but Martellus Bennett is a diva.
Well, he's a receiver. Well, tight ends are now receivers.
And he is
Jimmy Graham, Gronk.
I'm just saying he's
diva.
there in the.
Is Gronk a diva or just a partier?
No, he's just a party animal. But Bennett's that diva, and he's getting away with it on the Patriots right now.
Give me the ball. Give me the ball, Tom. Give me the ball.
Yeah, give me the ball and let me say some dumb stuff.
Yeah, give me the ball or I'm gonna bitch. But the thing with Mike Williams is I think that I'm not sure if he's gonna be the next NFL superstar. If he's the next NFL superstar, I don't think I have a hard time seeing him being the extreme of Dez, Terrell, Odell. I don't see him bringing all the wide receivers down to Miami. He's not going to be a yacht captain is basically what I'm saying. In the NFL, I think he's going to be a really good wide receiver. And I think that he's going to be one that is a staple as a target in the red zone, and not even that, a guy who can get down the field, and it's with his size and his just athleticism to be able to say kind of what the Bears used to do with Marshall and Jeffrey. Williams is down there. Throw it up, let him jump up and get it.
Yeah.
Let him jump up and go get it. And now that we'll turn into the mock draft, what do you think about him? If the Titans got him at 5, what would that do for the Tennessee Titans?
Well, I think it'd be great. I think the Tennessee Titans, they're very kind of mediocre at the wide receiver position.
They kind of made an upgrade getting Dorial Green-Beckham, but that was more of a, we'll see what we can do with them.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Or did they trade him to...
I think they got rid of him.
Yeah, they traded him to the Eagles, so they got rid of a wide receiver. I always get that mixed up, who received who.
Well, because he's not anything to really remember.
Well, everyone thought he had problems coming out of Mizzou, and everyone he was a big wide receiver. That was the thing. Let him go. We can throw it up and go get him. But Mike Williams, I think, would be instant. You draft him with Marcus Mariota, I don't know instantly. I would like to think instantly. He becomes the number one on that team, the number one wide receiver target.
Yeah, I mean, his competition is Rashard Matthews in that case, and I don't think that's
Matthews
terrible competition.
Terrible.
No, he's not. He's not bad. I mean, he's just under 1,000 yards, like 9 or 10 touchdowns.
Maybe Mariota wouldn't have to go to Delaney Walker every game, or go to Delaney Walker as much and rely on him as much.
So I think it would be very valuable. I mean, the Tennessee Titans, they're this team that is
they got the run game.
Well, yeah, they've got the run game. They've got the young quarterback. They are building up this offensive line. They're a team that really is going in the right direction. What they're missing are just a few small key pieces. Once they get these key pieces, they're a completely different team. They're ready to take a next step forward. But for the Tennessee Titans, this would be huge because you're not really going to get too much more help on the offensive line. I think you're going to be fine without that. You don't need the running back because your run game is fine. Sure, you could get some more help on defense, but really for the Tennessee Titans, what they're specializing in is this offense. That's what they can get to take them to that next level. Because sure, we all love defenses, and we've had quite a few great defenses go to the Super Bowl. But look at this year. We don't have great defenses in the Super Bowl. We have Super Bowl defenses they're good. But I'm not writing home about it. That's what the Tennessee Titans can have. And I think that having a guy like Mike Williams is going to be a incredible addition to that because this running game is great. This passing game, not so much. That'll even things out and make them just a high, powerful, high-scoring offense.
See, and the thing that with Mike Williams, the team that I really want him to go to, and I had him going to this team in my mock draft, and I just really quickly want to see if Mel Kiper had the wide receiver I'm thinking of. Holy crap, he didn't have him in the first round at all? Shit, John Ross, he did not have in his first round. I think that's a huge snub. The two wide receivers he had were Mike Williams at 5, and then he also had Corey Davis, who I like coming out of Western Michigan, but shit, man, I thought John Ross would go ahead of Corey Davis and be a little bit higher. But the thing with the Titans to me, because they have 2 picks, do they necessarily think wide receiver is the one to go to at 5, or do they hit a bigger need of cornerback, take that first, go with the defense, then with their later pick, go with a John Ross, or fuck it, I guess I can throw out a Corey Davis now because Mel Kiper put him going to the Chiefs ahead of John Ross. But the team I really would like Mike Williams to go to is at number 7. I'd love for him to go to the LA Chargers. Would love it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Keenan Allen comes back, you get to match up Keenan Allen with Mike Williams. I mean, Keenan Allen would have to stay healthy I think, the last 2 seasons he's been injured. But, man.
Injuries are always an issue for the Chargers.
If Allen could stay healthy, the LA Chargers with Phillip Rivers, would he go to LA? But Phillip Rivers with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, like that to me is the dream scenario for a team getting a position and a player.
Well,
because I don't think the Jets go wide receiver.
No,
Jets go quarterback.
I don't think they would either. Yeah, it's just one of these things for me where I think about the teams that could go with this wide receiver, and I think about when it'll happen. For the Titans, I don't think that at 5th overall, I don't think you want to draft a cornerback yet. I think it's a little early. You'll be able to get one at, I forgot what the second pick they have is, like 17 or something like that. 18.
18.
Yeah. They'll be able to get somebody, maybe not the top corner, but they'll get a good corner at 18. But one thing I think would be useful, and I know they don't really, really need it. They have other needs first. It's just that I kind of want it to happen. I would love to go one pick further, Carolina Panthers. I would love them to get a guy like Mike Williams.
You think they would go with...
No, I don't think they necessarily would go with it. I just want it to happen.
Here's the question. I'm going to throw this to you. Looking at who the Panthers have in Mel Kiper's draft, which is Leonard Fournette, if you are the Carolina Panthers, let's say Williams and Fournette are both on the board at 8, who would you go with, Fournette or Williams?
Well, that's tough because I think you kind of have. For me,
Both could be dynamic players at their position.
I think that I look at this team and say, what am I better at? I am better at running the ball than I am passing the ball. And when we went to the Super Bowl, it was because of, one, defense, but two, the run game. That took us there. That passing game is not what really, really led us down the way. I want to get that passing game to be at the same level as my running game, so that way our offense is just all balanced and actually a great, balanced attack. You can do either. You can run, you can pass. I'm going to keep you guessing about what we're going to do. I'm not going to let you say, okay, Cam, beat us. Beat us with your arm. Let these wide receivers do it. You know, when you have injury issues at the wide receiver position with a guy like Benjamin, how he's pretty much always injured, I want to get one more thing there. And imagine, because we're talking about red zone threats, imagine having a Greg Olsen combo with Williams. You know, I think that would be a deadly combination, especially because of Benjamin and how tall he is as well. You just throw the ball up anywhere and someone's going to get it. Someone will come down with that ball. Like I said, this probably is not going to happen. There are other needs that the Carolina Panthers have way before wide receiver. But I just think that would make this team deadly.
I'm going to throw this out there, and this will be the last thing I throw out for this one. Is there a scenario where, I know it's not a quarterback, but is there a situation where a team goes, we want Mike Williams, let's trade up to go get him?
No, I don't think so.
Is quarterback the only position where we would really see that?
No, I don't think it's the
unless it's
only
like you
one.
want to be like Browns. We want Myles Garrett more than you. What's your price for Myles Garrett?
What it comes down to me, is it's the game changer. That's what you trade for. Quarterback is obviously a game changer. He's the guy that throws the ball. Your defensive J.J. Watt style pass rusher, you know, those are going to be guys that, yes, you'll trade for. Could you do it with a wide receiver? Sure, because they're going to catch
like
the
Atlanta
touchdowns.
did with Julio.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
But I think it's definitely less likely, and I don't think that Mike Williams, you know, this isn't Megatron coming out where everyone knows for sure this guy is once in a generation. You need to get this guy. And
that's the thing I got to say. I hope, because I don't know for sure if he's going to participate in the combine. I hope he participates in the combine. I want to see his 40 time. I want to see how he runs those wide receiver drills. That's what I want to see from Mike Williams to kind of get a better gauge for him. You can watch the film. You can watch what he did in that championship game and all season. But when they get to the combine and get in the undies, that's when you really get a sense of their skills and their speed, and sometimes even more if you're, what was his name, Chris Jones, who had the wardrobe malfunction when he was running his 40.
Hey, he said, I'm good at D too.
Yeah, he pulled a LeBron James and let us see the whole kit and caboodle.
Package.
The whole kit and caboodle.
You know, Andrew Luck did it too.
Did he?
Remember the locker room?
Did he? Yes, he did.
Yep.
He did do it.
He showed it all off.
I remember that. But anything else about Mike Williams before we put the kibosh on this segment?
No, I think that Mike Williams, yes, he's the best wide receiver, but he's not that gotta have him, gotta trade for him type of guy. A team in the top 10 is going to be absolutely thrilled to get him, though.
Well, this is where you guys come in. Let us know down below what you guys think. If you're listening on Blog Talk Radio, go ahead and hit us up on Twitter. Let us know there what you think about Mike Williams when it comes to the NFL draft. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that segment from the Onside Kick. If you think the fun stops there, you're wrong, because click the video right over here. What are you thinking? Come on. Click it. It's going to go away. It's going to go away. Bye, everybody.